Do you know when you want to say French, talking French in a fat one, a fuck you.
Everything in Chinese sounds like fuck you to
Does
you.
it? I'm leaving.
Fat one.
Really?
Yeah, French is fat one.
Well, I'm leaving that in the intro. So, hello, welcome to Triple C Rated. If you haven't joined us before, I'm Chin. This is my mum, Choo. And to the left of me, if you're watching, is my wife, Lydia. So, we are chefs slash full-time slash part-time YouTubers. We're really,
Been round.
We've been round where?
Been round every block.
Round and about.
Every block. We've been round every block.
Yep.
So we know what we're talking about. Anyway, this is a food podcast. We're all chefs here, and so yeah. And if you want to check out our main channel, it's Jang's Food Workshop. Just hit 150,000 subscribers.
Wow, that's amazing.
Do you think
100.
that could have sounded more forced? Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my goodness me!
Wow, it is amazing.
150,000.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's incredible. And also we've had a good resurgence or insurgence. We've had a lot of views and followers on TikTok last week as well. We've gone up from, I think it was 107,000 to 113,000 of today in like 4 or 5 days. So that's pretty good. So thank you very much for that, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
And it's that we do recipes on those channels if you don't know them, and that's Jang's Food Workshop. So today we won't start off with the Chicken Man, but we will get around to the Chicken Man. If you don't know what we're talking about there, we've left 2 podcasts on cliffhangers about this Chicken Man, and it's not even that interesting, but it is interesting. It's just a customer who was essentially just looking for an issue and didn't find one, and when he didn't, we just made him look like he didn't know what to talk. Anyway, we'll get around to that.
You sure you don't just want to tell the story now?
No, let's leave them.
Don't go away. Don't go away.
Keep listening.
Yeah.
Right. So, shall I do a question, or shall I do a just experience and tell you want to say how you feel about them?
Let's do a question first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right then. I'll have to find one.
Okay, that's fine. Well, we're
Dawn Pinder would like to know. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. What is your favourite dish to cook, and what is your favourite dish to eat? If you were at a Chinese restaurant, what would you order? So, favourite dish to cook, favourite one to eat, and what would you order if you went out?
my favourite dish to cook is a roast dinner. I know it's not Chinese, but I like cooking roast dinner.
Do you?
Yeah. We have like roast all the time. Like, it's just, I find it quite easy.
No.
It's not hard work at all. It's just
Once it's all in.
yeah.
No, I'm not very keen on cooking roast dinner. I love roast dinner, but
Like
I'm
the
not
eating?
just.
Yeah, the eating of it.
I'm just not too keen of preparing that roast dinner.
Mm.
No, not me.
I don't think there's much prep. I think there's more prep.
It is. There's a lot of the vegetable and
That's why
doing all this and that.
I don't have vegetables unless it's a
Yeah.
potato. I'm not eating it, so I literally just do roast potatoes and
Gravy
meat.
and the meat. Yes. Yeah.
So that's my roast dinner. I had stuffing.
So, to cook, to eat is roast dinner, yeah?
No, for me, my favourite thing to eat is, I don't know.
A lot though.
Yeah, I don't think I could
yeah.
choose. I'd say not. I'd say, but I don't know.
You don't know.
Mine is
Food.
the rice noodle with all the. It could be with different various type of topping on it, and roast out the pork.
Yeah, but that would come under what we'd order in a. That's why I haven't
Yeah.
said anything about Chinese food, because that would come under what we'd order in a restaurant.
But it can still be a favourite thing to eat and order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you obviously like to eat it if you're going to order it.
What,
Okay, then I
going
want to change my answer.
Okay.
No, you
What
carry
then-
on.
Are they talking about Western restaurant or like Asian restaurant or what?
Whatever you want.
I think they said Chinese restaurant.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, if you were to order, yeah.
But I think most people assume that
what's your
we just
favourite
eat
to
Chinese food at home.
If I go out, I will always order a steak because you can't go wrong.
Also, when was the last time you ordered a steak?
I haven't been out.
If there's prawns on a menu,
We went out for
you will
Dad's
order over
birthday the other
steak.
day. Yeah, exactly.
No.
Unless
You did last time
Well,
we
you
went
had
out.
when?
you
got the
prawn
prawns,
spaghetti.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Funny looking
But
steak.
you did really enjoy the steak that Doug got.
Yeah, the
That's true.
steak. I do. Yeah, because if I go into like ZZ or what is the other chain?
Prezzo?
Presto,
Prezzo's.
a Presso or a
Prezzo.
ZZ. Yeah, I always order the prawn spaghetti because there are not too much dairy products in it.
Doesn't agree with your stomach.
No, it's not allergy or whatever. It just cannot process that dairy stuff sometimes.
An intolerance.
Yeah.
then.
And then, okay, so if you were both to go to a Chinese restaurant, what would you get?
Roast duck
Yeah, roast duck.
Yeah.
and rice noodle.
Seal yuck.
Yeah, roast pork.
Chasu sao.
Yeah,
So chasu sao is essentially Chinese roast pork inside a pastry made of two different types of dough. So you got your water dough and you got your oil dough, and then which is wrapped up and then glazed, and then you have chasu bao, which is the same Chinese roast pork in a bun that's steamed, and then beef balls.
yeah. I
love
will
beef
order
balls.
the dumpling, the prawns and the chive dumpling.
Hagao.
No, not hagao. It's the I can't Quzhou. I think it's Quzhou Fanguo.
Chuzhou fanguo.
Inside we had it in our place. It's the prawns and the chive, the Chinese chive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one I will order.
And
Ribs,
changfen.
Changfen. Sometime miss and go.
I like yu jiao.
Chicken feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ribs.
Oh, what's the square one that I like?
the tunic cake?
Yeah, that's it. Tunic cake.
Tunic Chinese moules.
Turnip.
Yeah.
Tunic. Tunic's
Tunic.
like a tunic, like a
She said tunic.
A dress. A jump.
I know what she meant.
Yeah,
the
moule.
tunic cake.
Turnip.
Turnip.
Turnip. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do order a lot when we go out, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's why when we went to our favourite restaurant we go to quite a bit. It's called no, it's not anymore. Dragon's Delicacy in Bristol. We rate that very highly. It's been fantastic recently as well.
Yeah, really
Um,
good.
When we go, we need a large table because we order
Yeah.
a lot. We eat it though. It's not like we order it and just leave it, but we do eat it all.
Yes, we do. Yes.
Yeah, especially if my sister's there as well.
It's time to pay a visit. I think end of this summer, we probably
Yeah.
will take our
A little getaway to Bristol.
with our our people who work together with us,
Team members.
team members. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take them out for
Yeah.
food. And then what we're also going to be doing videos again soon. We are actually looking at a property soon to rent, so we can build a studio in it. So we're
Yeah.
not sure if we'll get it or not, but it's quite a lot of money a year just to have a.
If you're not generating enough to cover the cost.
Yeah, but we're
Yeah.
kind of thinking, hopefully we'll get more videos out this winter, which will cover the cost of having the studio. But I don't know. Even we're more than likely going to have to dip into our own pockets because you don't make much money from YouTube at all. But it won't cover the rent, like not even 10% of the rent, what you get from advertising from all platforms. But yeah, we just think it'd be a nice place to have our own studio and not have to sort of like work around our own lives in terms of. So if we use our kitchens at home, we have to move stuff and then put stuff back so that it's not in the background, if you know what I mean. Whereas we can just go and it's ready. It'll be so much easier for us, won't it?
Yeah, it will be. Yes.
I think
We'll see. Yeah.
I think we answered that question.
Do you want another question or a...
Any, you pick. As long.
Noosh has got a good one.
Yeah.
What is the least popular dish and why do restaurants sell it?
I don't. That's really difficult because it's different wherever you go.
Yeah.
Like the dish that never sold in the takeaway where I was growing up was garlic shrimp.
Oh yeah.
And that was like no one, like once every year, one person would buy it. And all it was just tiny prawns in a garlic sauce on top of fried bean sprouts.
Yeah.
But obviously, on most takeaway menus, they give you no description whatsoever. But no one ordered that. That and shrimp fried rice was very rarely ordered. I only know like 3 people who would order that.
Yeah, not a lot. No, the shrimp is just, I don't know why do they want to use it.
I'm not even sure if
why.
they.
Because it's there.
Yeah,
I would just get it out of the menu, so less thing you need to stop.
Yeah.
That's literally every takeaway that we've run ourselves or owned. We've not even had shrimp on.
No, we don't have that shrimp fried rice or shrimp whatever.
We do have shrimp in because you need it for like yam chow fried rice or special or yam chow chow mein.
Not a dish on its own. We don't do that, though,
No,
isn't it?
no.
Yeah. So we do have it like accomplished
Singapore
with the
chow
other
mein
thing,
and stuff like that.
yes.
But otherwise, I would say, but that's in that one. I reckon. I don't know, because if something didn't sell, I would not have it on the menu. It's just it was pointless to be there. So I can't really speak, and it's been so long since I worked for someone else.
Yeah, that's right. I think if I not really enjoy that dish, I don't think I feel.
Yeah, because if you don't enjoy it yourself as well, what's the point in cooking it? Because you're not going to... It's just going to be annoying to have to cook.
I tell you what's very, very rarely ordered, and that's sort of like a pineapple dish. So you get chicken and pineapple.
Oh yeah, it used to be really popular in the beginning of the 80s, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
then it died down.
Like loads. And loads of people always ask for the recipe, but not, in my experience, not many people order it.
Yeah, I know when in the 80s when I used to work in the takeaway, there was one customer, he never missed. Every time he come in once a week, you know definitely he will order that. Every time without fail. Okay. Chicken and pineapple.
Yeah.
That's right.
We used to have cashew nuts on top of ours as well.
Yeah. Or the bambooshoot water chestnut, they have that.
Yeah. That's another one that's not
many people order that.
And I never had that on my menu either.
No.
Anyway, I hope that answered your question, Noosh.
I think so.
Cool.
Next one I'm going to do is the delivery charges.
Right. Yeah, okay.
Do you want to explain that one?
So, I'll let Mum give her thoughts on Deliveroo charges first before I explain why. So a lot of people... Do you want to give the backstory to why this is on the list?
No, you go for it, because you'll probably explain it better than I will.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. So, long story short is someone...
I just do a lot of... So it's better if you do it.
Okay. I thought you were trying to beatbox then. Pardon me. So, there's someone put a post up on Chinese Takeaway Secrets Facebook group, which we're a part of, and they essentially said we went to order this, but didn't order it in the end, or something like that. Like, I think
they were on a work trip and they were going to order something. It was just like 2 or 3 things, and it was a fairly cheap order, but because they had ordered under a certain amount, there was a service charge or something, and then there was a Deliveroo charge, and in the end there was like 3 separate charges, so delivery, service, and under amount charge.
Yeah.
I don't know what the word for it was.
Tariff charge, I think it's called.
Yeah. And it was very clearly explained on their Deliveroo page, like whatever their profile is.
Yeah.
If you order under a certain amount, you get that charge.
Yeah.
And they were basically saying that they would never ever use this person and would tell people not to use them because of those charges, and couldn't quite get their head around the fact that...
I don't think it was the person who posted it. It was in the comments. Was it?
No, they were.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because they were like, what do you guys think about it? And I obviously pointed out it was quite simple what the extra charges were. And then they went off on one. I mean, loads of people went off on it and they were like, this is stupid, ridiculous. This is why I don't use these businesses and what, you know. But that was basically it.
It's just like basically your boss asks you to go to work and not pay you.
Yeah, it's a bit like your boss docking you £5. Oh, I can't really think of a good analogy here. Yeah, docking you an hour's wage every day just because you decided to make your own way to work rather than take his transport or something like that.
No,
Yeah.
how can you not?
I can't think of a good analogy. That's terrible.
How could you all not see it? Is someone will have to pay somebody to send, like you order something. They already tell you that there will be a charges, and from like £1 to £10, you get that like £2.50 charges. If you order under £10, you still get that £2.50 charges. That's fair. They still have to employ that person to send your goods out, even though you were ordering under the amount they already told you. How can you not understand it?
Well, I think the problem is, like, it's the day of entitlement. That's one issue. And the other issue is people just don't know. So what actually happened was, like, because the food came under £20, the extra fees on top came to £5. And then people in the comments were saying how they don't really understand this. It's disgusting. They're just being greedy. So then what I did is I said, okay, then I'll lay it out and I'll be generous in terms of the margins that the takeaway will be making on a £19 order. So you'd have to make up for that £5. So because if they hit that £20 mark, those fees would go away. So I said, okay, so on a £19 order, 30% of that instantly goes to Deliveroo or whatever service you've just used. Then you have your cost of the stock, and then you have the sundries on top of that, like making it, blah, blah, blah. Then you wages. Then you have the VAT you have to pay when that comes through your till. Then you have the tax on the profit. And then you have, I can't remember, there's a couple of other things in there as well. I wish I had the data in front of me. I might actually have it. If you hold on 1 second, guys. So I essentially...
When you pointed that out, they did say I didn't realise they had to pay that much towards Deliveroo.
Yeah.
But I said to them, I said, why didn't you just, like, instead of getting annoyed at those extra costs, why not go direct to the takeaway? And they said, well, I'm not from the area. I'm not from the area. I don't even know where they were. I just typed in the takeaway and had their menu, phone number, location.
Yeah.
The fact that they deliver. Like, okay, these apps are really good for, it's just easy. You just go on your phone, you order, you don't even have to talk to anyone. But you're moaning about having these extra charges. If you just go direct through them and just go, hey, can I have this? You've saved yourself money.
Yeah, you saved yourself.
And you've given them more money as well.
Yeah.
Because the money goes straight to them.
Yeah, exactly. But then I can't find what I put. Essentially, out of that £19, they make, I think it's £2.72. And if they didn't put that extra charge on there, there would be minus money for that order you put in. That's why they have that fee on top. I think it was like a £3.50. So it's it's not like they've been greedy. It's these. There's so much more to running a takeaway. But sorry if we're a bit slow today. We've come back from work and it's a bit tiring. So like we're a bit
tired,
slow. That's why everything seems a bit sticky. And anyway, yeah. I've forgotten where I was at.
Words,
yeah.
Small order fee. That's what it is called.
Yeah. So there it is. If you go up.
Okay. So, do you want to read it out or?
Pardon me. So I'll read it out. Well, the £19 order that would have cost about £5 to make. The VAT would have been £3.17. Other costs as time, wages, electricity, packing, etc., would be £1. Delivery service cut would be £5.70, and the tax on profit would be £1.32, which would leave on that £19 order £2.81 in that person's pocket. Now you have to think exactly what that means. So in order to pay one person, a staff member, to be there for an hour, you have to do 4 orders to make minimum wage of £19. So you've nearly had to turn £100 just to have one person there for an hour. And lots of people go, oh yeah, but in one day you can make £2,000-3,000, right? Realistically, yeah, you can. But then you don't realise in the winter where you are minus. Also, you only do like 10 or 11 orders that day. So every day you are minus between £200 to £300. So then the next day you actually have to make that £200 and £300 to break even. But that doesn't happen because it's winter. You'll be lucky in a winter time, even in a city, to break even. So you're constantly chasing the tail, and then people just can't. I don't understand why they can't grasp. Like, okay, so yeah, we buy that for we buy this bottle of wine for £1, we sell it for £4. So we've made a 75% markup on that.
I also take back what I said. It wasn't them who went, oh, I didn't realise there was a small order fee or something, whatever I just said a minute ago. They still didn't get it at the end of it.
All right, it's just...
That was someone else.
Okay. Anyway, so... and I worked it out. So in order for them to catch up, if they've had a bad week in the winter, the next week has to be good. And in order to break even after just 4 days of bad trade, they have to turn between £5,000 and £7,000. That in the winter is next to impossible. And people wondering why, takeaway prices are going up and the quality is not increasing. It's because, one, people aren't willing to pay for takeaway food. And it's all well and good in saying I don't understand why takeaways don't. Because if they did, they would go under. You are the nice people. If you're sitting there, you do not think like 90% of the British public. We've seen it on these Facebook groups. We've seen it in real life. They do not understand, and it's almost a willful ignorance. They don't want to, because we've been telling them, we've told it there in writing, and they still can't grasp the concept behind it. It's because they don't want it. Because I think it's maybe they don't want to be wrong. Yeah.
People don't like to admit they're wrong.
Yeah.
That's just people, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's childish behaviour. Yeah, Ma?
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, that was that one.
I hope that cleared that up a little bit.
That woke me up.
So if you ever see a small order fee, you know why.
Yeah.
You just need to order more.
Yeah.
Next one?
Yes, please.
Okay, so there's 3 questions from Simon Fisher. First one is, when to use light and dark soy? I tend to throw both in, not knowing why.
Right, so, Mum?
Well, like, I think you can explain it more than I could.
Go on,
She's doing what I'm doing now.
Yeah. So light soy is used for seasoning because it's higher in soy sauce and soy content, and salt. And dark is primarily used for colour and a little bit sweetness. So you use the dark soy, especially in chow mein, to colour the noodles, and you use the light soy to give it flavour. And traditionally, it was actually the other way round, but the light soy was used as more as a condiment, and the dark soy gave it like a richer flavour for when you were doing some stuff like braising and things like that. richer soy flavour, I should say. But has always historically had less salt, the dark soy. It just used to have more
Soy content.
soy content, and that's why it was darker. But that's not true anymore.
No.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, very good. Explain.
Thank you.
Next one.
Unless you want to say anything on top
No,
of it?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
Do you cut all meats against the grain?
Yeah, someone said this the other day. I'd say you go across the grain, not against. Because to go against a grain...
I think maybe they've worded it wrong.
Well, no, I was thinking this the other day. I think it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. I think actually it is correct. So you do go against the grain, but like to go with the grain would be to go in the direction it's going, and then to go against would be going in the opposite direction, not across.
Yeah, maybe.
Go across, isn't it?
So we call it across the grain, not
Yeah.
against, because against you're still going with.
Parallel then, isn't it? Same as the grain then.
Yeah. So but essentially yes, with every meat bar fish, you go across the grain. Yeah, Ma?
Yeah, that's right. Look, just like this.
Yeah. They can't see it because they're on. Mum's holding up a beer mat and pointing to it
Yeah. No one can see us.
because it's got lines.
Okay.
No, they can see us, but people on podcasts can't.
Oh, all right.
So
then.
people on
They can
YouTube
listen.
can see this.
Oh, okay. Just watch YouTube then, please.
Okay.
I don't know what that proved. It just proved Mum could hold things up.
Yeah. Can you make chicken chow mein without making the chicken chewy?
Yeah, if you're making the chicken chewy, you've overcooked the chicken. So there's a couple of things to do first. Mum, you want to explain velveting first?
Oh, but no, I can't explain it too well. I have to show you then.
See, someone the other day was like, "Oh, you don't let your mum talk enough," and I'm letting you talk.
Oh no!
But no, the reason why I talk is because you can't articulate it.
Yeah, exactly. My English is not that brilliant. Okay.
Yeah, so it's not because I'm trying to hog the limelight.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I've just tried to what's the word? Show you.
Yeah, your English is better than mine. Mine is just okay. I can't explain very well. I don't know all the technical word and everything. Okay.
So velveting is essentially a process to make meat tender. We have a fair few videos, especially shorts, on YouTube and on TikTok as well, and on Instagram, showing you various ways to velvet. Mainly what makes it non-chewy is using bicarb. Use it very sparingly, and what that does, it highes the pH level, of the meat, which stops it from tightening when it's put under heat. That keeps it from going chewy. Or you can poach it, which locks the structure in place, and poaching or cooking anything slowly will continue to make it tender or keep it tender and moist.
Yeah.
Hope
that information's good for you to absorb in, okay?
There we go. Absorb it in.
It was right into your ears. So yeah, I hope that was good for you. Thanks, Mel. Thanks for the explain.
Right. How do you both feel about when customers come in and say they've got a really bad allergy to something and then change their mind and to just I don't like it?
Oh, it fucking fucks me off.
Yeah, I'm so frightened.
Yeah, because like what they don't realise, you're fucking with our lives.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the people, customer who come in, if you don't like, mostly it's the prawns, the seafood, they don't like it, just say, sorry, please don't put prawns in I don't like prawn. Don't say you have an allergy. When you question them, I'm so sorry, we cannot serve you once you declare you have the seafood prawns allergy. No, they say, it's not an allergy, it's just I don't like. I say, for God's sake, if you don't like it, say don't like it. Don't use allergy is the wrong word to use, all right?
Yeah. I do, yeah. Calm?
You wanted her to talk and now she's shouting.
Be careful what you wish for. So, yeah, essentially, it's because we won't serve someone with an allergy because it's just not worth us going to jail for. It's not up to you to prosecute. It's up to the government or the authorities at the end of the day.
Authority, yes.
It's not worth, for the sake of £12, it's not worth us potentially hurting someone and then forfeiting our livelihoods for. So, unfortunately, if you come in and you say you've got an allergy and then backtrack, we're not going to serve you. It's just
not worth the risk.
Yeah.
No. We do not want to harm you, and we honestly, we do not want to harm anyone.
Yeah. I would love to take your money, but like I'm not going to for the sake of like hurting someone. It's just not worth it.
No.
I was going to say something. Pardon me. We did cover this before the other day about people lying. I think it was podcast 14. So 2 podcasts ago, people lying about, people saying they have allergies just because they don't like something.
Not say lying, just say not telling the truth.
Yeah.
Just because they want to eat it at the or someone want to eat the food.
Yeah, what I find bizarre about that whole thing though, is like I don't like prawns, right? And I won't go say, and even if allergic. I wouldn't say I'm allergic. Like if my food turned up with prawns in, I'd pick the fucking things out. Like what? How is that so difficult? And now because you're a bit too lazy to pick the fucking prawns out,
because they feel like they're going to miss out on something, that they've got less of what they've actually paid for.
Yeah, that makes okay. I see that. That does make sense. I can see that.
But still, I just wouldn't either. Don't order it because it's got the thing you don't like in.
Yeah.
Or get over it. Or order a side.
Yeah. Or just say you don't like prawns.
Food. Yeah, so they will not put the prawns in. Obviously, of course, they will add more of other stuff to make up to the value.
Yeah, or you get the people who go, oh, put his prawns on my plate. Like, well, no, because we're giving him or her more stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but put his or her on my plate. Yeah, but then you're getting extra. They're getting extra. And
no one's paid for the extra, you idiot.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it takes some time. Actually, that's not fair. Most people go, oh, yeah, right, yeah, that makes sense. But then you do get the odd person who just can't seem to grasp it. Like, anyway, that's by the by. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just looking through while you were chatting.
Oh, okay.
Because I can't find one yet.
All right. So don't come in. Oh, also, coriander is a big thing.
Yeah.
I think it's the flavour.
Yeah, I think it's the flavour. Can you please keep looking through? Because I'm trying to chat, so it's not dead air.
It is funny though, because that coriander man was in again today, and he refuses to look at me now. Because he actually ran away when I came out the office because he was don't put any coriander on my food because I'm really allergic to it.
He didn't say really allergic.
No, he did, because I heard him when I went to the desk and I said, and explained the first time he came in, and I said, and explained to him. He goes, no, I just don't like it. I said, well, you just said you were really allergic to it. He went, no, I was just saying stuff.
I heard him say, I'm allergic, not really allergic, but yeah, carry on.
I don't even think you were there.
No, I could hear him in the office as before I had my AirPods.
Oh, okay. But yeah, he won't look at me, talk to me, and runs away from me now. But he still comes in, so that's good. I'm not sure if I really understand this one, but Jane Jenkins says, when ordering from our local takeaway, we get dried chow mein. What is the difference in ingredients from a standard one?
I don't know what you
mean. I don't know what you mean, because
that's.
I know most of my recipes for chow meins are dry.
Yeah, because it was put in a container, maybe the condensation.
No, I think a lot of places serve wet chow mein or chow mein and sauce as a chow mein, but technically that's lo mein.
Okay. Have you ever created your own Chinese-inspired recipe and sold it from your takeaway? If not, would you? Also, are there any traditional cooking techniques or ingredients that are unique to Chinese takeaways in the UK? And that's Leighton.
So yeah, we have. There's many of them in the new cookbook, which is part deux, and it's spelt wrong deliberately.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like sour apple crispy pork is one. As far as I'm aware, like the spicy Hong Kong style sweet and sour, I've never seen that on the menu. I'm sure it is on the menu. I mean, I've done a video on the Jack Daniel's whiskey duck that I invented when I was about 12 or 11. That's on the main channel, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've done quite a few, but that Jack Daniel's one isn't in the book. I completely forgot about it, so I forgot to put it in the book.
Oh.
Maybe next time then.
But there are quite a few. So apricot chicken is another one that I haven't seen, but probably does exist. I thought I invented it. Maybe I haven't.
Oh, is it? Someone said they have got apricot chicken, is it?
No, I don't know. I'm just saying that it's so easy to think of things to invent that I wouldn't be surprised if someone has.
Yeah. The world is really big though, you know that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
massive.
That's why it still surprises me how people can get like, well, my takeaway does it this way and you're teaching me this way, so your way is wrong. But the UK is massive. The world is enormous.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's going to have a different way of doing it, aren't they?
Yeah, people who say that are normally wankers, though.
Yeah.
Like, they literally have no idea about anything.
Yeah. So, oh my God, use that brand? No.
Yeah.
My takeaway uses this brand, and I've seen the takeaway owner buy it.
Well,
I won't say what brand it is, but we all know what it is.
But what's really annoying is that I am a fucking takeaway owner, and this is what we was fucking serving.
Yeah.
So it's like, get your head out your ass. Everyone does it differently. Like, your mum doesn't cook a roast from your next door neighbour's mum the same.
Yeah.
Use different herbs, different amounts, different brands. Get your head out your fucking ass.
Misconception that I don't know why, but and like everyone thinks every Asian person can cook. Like
No.
my Asian friend cooks it this way. Okay. And what?
Yeah, just because, yeah.
What's your point? Like, I'm really tall. I'm not good at doing the high jump.
Yeah, we say this a lot on the podcast. We've been through it quite a few times. Like, not every Chinese. That's normally when someone has to back up what they're saying with, I have a Chinese or Asian friend, I instantly know they're going to be shit or not know what they're talking about.
I mean, yeah, it could be good. But anyway. What is your opinion on people coming in and asking if they can have your recipe, or even worse, come in and have a little look over your shoulder when you're cooking?
There's nothing wrong with asking. I am going to tell you to Foxtrot Oscar. But, yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with asking. I don't mind
There
it.
isn't anything wrong with asking. No.
There was one time one guy came in and tried to buy my recipe off me, and I told him no, and he then proceeded for 15 minutes to try and convince me. I'm like, I'm not selling you my pad thai recipe. I'm just not doing it. And we get it quite often that people come in. Lots of actually Thai people come in and say how amazing the pad thai recipe is, and I had a couple of families try and buy it off us. Look, I'm not going to sell it. I'll put it in a cookbook eventually, but I'm not going to sell it to one person. One, it's just a bit
Cheeky.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know actually. When I think
It's
about
a
it,
weird one, isn't it?
part of the reason is that I don't want someone else to copy it, because I do know how good it is,
Yes.
and no other fucker is doing it like how we do it. Like no fucker is.
Or
The
because
amount
it's
of-
your recipe, that's why.
The amount of
Yes.
people that give us pushback saying it's wrong on the internet and stuff, it goes, are just like, yes, it's our take on it, but it tastes better. Like quite literally, nearly every time. Right? Okay. Well, this is a talking point on yours. It's gatekeeping. Now, I know I gatekeep for Chinese takeaway food. I'm one of the worst for it. Yeah, but that is just because it really fucks me off when someone is in a Chinese takeaway cooking group. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And someone goes, oh, how do I make Chinese takeaway fried rice? Use basmati. Don't use fucking basmati rice. They're asking how to replicate it like they're a fucking takeaway. No takeaway is using basmati fucking rice. They're using high quality long grain, or they're going to be mixing it with Thai fragrant and long grain. they're not going to be using basmati rice. Then I will go, sorry, that's not what they're using. Yes, you can get a good fried rice with basmati. It's tasty. Basmati rice is very tasty. It's a good rice. It's a high quality rice. It's not what fucking takeaways are using. A gatekeep like that.
Not the Chinese takeaway.
Yeah.
Indian takeaway may use.
100% Indian. Yeah.
But not Chinese takeaway. They don't use basmati rice as their fried rice.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And it's just small things like that wind me up because it's not correct, and then people think it is correct. So then when they see us doing it on the internet, they tell us we're wrong, and I'm like, what are you fucking again? I've been doing this all my life, and you come in and tell me I'm wrong. What do? You sit at home in an office and you've Googled it. Do you know what I mean? And the thing is, you probably didn't even type it in properly. You just went Chinese takeaway rice used. You couldn't even be bothered to fucking type it out properly. That's another pet hate of mine. Even when I search on Google, I type out the whole sentence properly.
If you can manage it.
Yeah, because I'm terrible at spelling. Which is the joke behind the part dirt on the second cookbook. Is so I'm so bad at spelling that I've deliberately spelt. Well, the mock-up, it was wrong.
Well, he couldn't figure out which one was right, so he just closed his eye, pointed at one, and goes, "Yeah, I'll choose that one."
That's a better story than the real story. The real story is I actually corrected it, and then a publisher, sorry I can't remember your name, on Facebook, and they don't publish our sort of content. They focus in LGBTQ plus stuff, writers, and mainly female writers. But they did say they were publishers, and I should keep the part de and the Bible spelt wrong. I corrected the Bible because that did annoy me that it was spelt wrong. But the de I thought was quite funny, and plus it's the prominent part, so I kept
D-U-X, is it?
D-U-E-X, but it should be D-E-U-X.
Oh, okay.
So then I thought, you know what, that's actually quite... And anyone who knows us well knows that I'm awful at spelling. You can just watch any or read any post / any comment. It never makes sense. Nope. So I thought, yeah, okay, I'm gonna keep that spelt wrong. And the amount of emails and comments...
People have been really weirdly nasty about it in the emails, though.
So you spelled
some people have. Some people have been...
that's why I said some, not all.
I also think that sometimes when we get an email, it sounds like it's got a tone, and actually they're going... Like, for example, one the other day, I did think it was a tone, and when I read, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to read this back in a non-confrontational... So I first read it as...
You're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, you do realise part dirt is spelt this way. I hope you've corrected this for the print. But in reality, I think what probably goes, I think you realise part dirt is spelt this way. I really hope you've corrected it for the print.
But it's that thing as well, like, I'm really careful when I write emails. Not that I do, well, actually I do, like when I reply to people, but like, because you have to, in text, you cannot gauge tone. And I don't think many people realise that because they're literally just going and not really thinking about it. Like, you have to emphasise on what you're saying sometimes, or explain what you're saying so it doesn't come across wrong.
Yeah, which also can come across as condescending, and we're not. We're like, we're trying our best. It's trying our best not to sound condescending or confrontational, but sometimes going over the top can do that, and we're just trying to get as much information to you as possible. But yeah, I like, yeah. But anyway, thank you to everyone who has pointed out thinking that we've made a mistake and are worried. Don't worry, that
it was done deliberately.
Yeah, it was a deliberate action.
Yes.
Yeah. What was the question?
How did you feel about people coming in and asking for your recipes?
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, it's gatekeeping. So, but I genuinely don't care if someone cooks a fried rice with rice out the rice cooker straight away. It's when they go on and then they say, oh, my rice is a bit gloopy. Oh, well, did you leave it overnight? No, that's why. And then when people go, it doesn't matter. Well, it does a little bit. I mean, yes, you can, if your rice hasn't been overcooked in the rice cooker, which is possible if you put too much water in, you can make a good fried rice from hot rice. The flavour's different, and most people, 90% of people, aren't going to be able to taste the difference, but some people can, and one in particular that could or can tell the difference, Mum is and Lydia is. But most people aren't. So I always go, do whatever you want. As long as it works for you, that's fucking brilliant. If you want to make a chow mein and put as much 5-spice and sesame oil in it as you want, that's absolutely fine. But don't say that's how a Chinese takeaway is doing it, because they're not doing it. That's how I gatekeep when I'm doing it, and it's mainly just to keep the information correct. But if you want to do that, that's absolutely fine. It's the same. Well, what I also find, this is going back to the original point of the people that come in and have our pad thai. We don't use the flat noodles because pad thai was isn't, well, even though it's a Thai dish, it was made using Chinese ingredients and Thai spices to make a unity dish by the president of the time in 1943 to 1948. No one's really sure about the time. And like most Thai people, Thai chefs we've had don't even class it as Thai food. That is just like, it's just food. The younger generation obviously do, because you know, it's like Chinese takeaway food isn't Chinese food, but the younger generation goes, yeah, okay, that is Chinese food, because it's now become that. But it wasn't. And then we find that the Thai people that come in and eat our food, they're going, this is absolutely amazing. Like, you have to come up to the counter to tell us that, because there is no table service. No one's coming over and going, how was your food today, sir? Blah, blah, blah. No, it's just, here's your food, eat. So that people have to physically come over to tell us that. And most of the time, if people don't like your food or they don't, whatever, they just walk out the door. We always have someone come into the counter saying how good our food is and how incredible, like, we should be in London or whatever, we're clean up. Or, oops, sorry. But that's not the point. It's always the Thais, especially with the pad Thai, who have the best things to say about it. And again, they try and buy the recipe of us. It's the people who have spent, either gone out on holiday a couple of times or travelled there for a couple of months, who aren't Thai. And you 90%, right? And also 90% of the time, those people come in and they go, "That's the best pad Thai I've ever had." But it's you can normally, and I can tell, and I'm not going to say what demographic it is, and I'm not going to say what they look like because I don't think that's fair.
You just know.
But someone walks in and I just know they've been travelling, and they're going to find an issue with the noodles. Now, 90% of the time, those people are going to say something, but say, actually, it was really good. And then you have that 10% of those 10% people who aren't going to like it because it's not right. Now, I find it's the Westerners with very little knowledge, and they've read it online or they've been somewhere for a little time, who gatekeep Asian food the most. Whereas Asian people are just like, yeah, if you want to throw fucking mayonnaise in it, go for it. Ooh. Do you know, if you want to put bacon in sheep chow mein? I can't think of a good analogy.
Mutton?
I can't think of a good analogy. But like, you tend to not care as long as it works for you.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but coriander isn't what's normally paired with like your traditional chow mein, no? Chow mein, pad thai.
Yeah. No.
Right.
Yeah,
so,
it's got coriander.
Do they have coriander?
Yeah, it's garnish. They don't
have.
run it through like we do.
It's not normally in, is it?
No.
So that's another good pointer as well, because people always go, well, I think you'll find you're using the wrong noodles, because when I was in Thailand 10 years ago for half an hour, the one that I saw was made with rice in it, but they never point out the coriander. They never ever point that out.
They don't put coriander, I think.
They do. I've been to Thailand I've worked in one of the they don't put it through it.
Yeah, they never
they garnish it on the top.
But they never point out that it's running through it when generally it's not. Because if they're pointing out every little bit about it, because they want you to know how right they are.
Well, the issue as well is that most of the time, if you go to a pad Thai store, they have the 3 different kinds of noodles, and you pick your noodle.
Yeah, and also, no one seems to care about the fact that that food truck at the top of the road is all spaghetti. It's not even noodles, it's spaghetti.
Yeah. But anyway, thanks for interrupting.
Oh, I'm sorry. I stole your time.
I can't remember what I was saying.
Just
now.
call this the chin show, shall we?
It was important to
Should we go and get some dinner and leave him to it?
I can't remember what it was. What was I saying?
I don't know. I switched off.
The pad thai.
With your noodles.
Oh yeah, but they normally serve. So if a Westerner walks into a restaurant and orders pad thai, it will come out with rice noodles. But if you go to a back street stall or wherever, you normally get a choice: yellow noodles, mi fan, which is the rice vermicelli, or the flat noodles. And then you can put your own toppings on. You could got tiny fried, dried shrimp, peanut, sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sprinkle it on as however much you want.
It's funny how many people don't like the peanut topping as well because of the texture.
That is really nice.
It makes it.
I
love it. The coriander on top makes it. But
all of them, I think, it sort of sum it up nicely. If you haven't got an arm, one arm missing, it's just like that. Can't do with the other one, you know.
Also, they don't use. You're right. They don't use the Western coriander. They use the. You know that.
Oh, you mean the Vietnamese?
Yeah, the leaves are long.
Yeah.
So it is coriander. It's
but
not.
It's a very strong taste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they use.
I'm not too keen on that flavour.
No, it's a bit.
That's me. It's just too
bitter. It's a little bit bitter.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's to regards to the original thing, which was
people coming in and asking for
recipes. But then I turned it into gatekeeping. I know I gatekeep and I'm really bad for it. But that's just because people are in the group to learn how to do it as a takeaway word or in the ways that takeaways would. And when people say this is how takeaways do it, it's fucking wrong. So I'm going to correct you. But if those same people say, I know takeaways don't do it this way, but I did it this way, I always go, looks amazing, fantastic. That's what cooking's about. And that's literally what I put. Cooking's about changing everything you like. But then you'll get people who aren't Asian or East or Far East descent. Normally, they're Westerners, and they'll go, well, that's not how it's done. Especially with like Far Eastern food. They go, well, you've done this. And I'm just like, so? It tastes good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What's your issue?
What?
Not you.
Oh. Well,
Anyway.
my face always looks like I'm angry, so maybe I'll just look extra angry.
No. All right. Okay. So that's that one done.
Yeah.
Next one.
Shall we talk about Chicken Man?
Oh yeah, Chicken Man. So let's set the scene. I'm not at work on this particular day. I think I'm actually at home
having a nap.
Having a nap. Yeah, I wish. I was either.
You were writing the book.
I couldn't be one. No, I wasn't.
I think you were doing your
photos.
Your photo or something like that.
Photos for the book because I couldn't do them at work. Actually, I think I was doing videos.
Whatever, but you were not at work that day. Okay.
Because I'm trying really hard not to burp into the microphone.
Do it away.
I was just decided not to burp.
Just suck it back up.
Yeah. I reverse burped.
Oh, God.
Breathed. Burped.
No. Okay.
Well, I think Lydia could tell the story. You deal with him more than I did.
I can.
You were at the counter, weren't you? I was not. I was at the.
Well, I dealt with him
kitchen.
afterwards.
Yes.
So if for
didn't serve him or anything.
For Patreons, I'll upload the because it is not breach of data or anything because I'm not putting it public. But for Patreons, I'll upload the footage of the guy talking, and you can read his lips. And I'll talk over the top about what he was saying at the moment in time. So if you're Patreon on Chin Vlog, not Chin and not the Jang's Food Workshop, but my personal one for Chin Vlogs, I'll put that up there for you guys so you can actually watch him. But I think, Lydia, do you want to... You get nervous.
I don't like talking.
Do you want me to... All right, okay. So I wasn't there. So essentially... Well, what happened first?
He ordered
But there's a reason. So he ordered. He sat down,
dish,
ate his food, and Lydia, you made it like a point to go.
I made a point to be up the front when he brought his bowl back, because like when people come in, sometimes you can, or just when you're listening to them order and way they talk, you can gauge whether they're going to be awkward or not. So I just made a point of being up the front just in case there was something. And there was.
There was an issue, wasn't there?
Yes.
Yeah. And that issue, shall I take over from there?
Yes.
So, and that issue is that he came up and Lydia said, bear in mind he ate fucking everything in the bowl, and you can see in the video that his bowl is completely clean, right?
He's just got his napkin and his ticket that you
In
give.
it. Yeah.
And his knife and fork.
And Lydia asked him, was that all right for you? And expecting a dodgy answer. And he smiled and just shook his head and said, no, it was, what was it, not very good, awful?
That just wasn't right.
That just wasn't right. That was 2-day-old chicken. It had been cooked 2 days ago, and I've been served it. If I was there and I heard that, I would have walked straight out of the fucking office and said, you fucking what? Because I've only sweared at one customer once, and it was because, like, when I get angry, I kind of, not explode. When I think something's really unfair, I'm not going to bite my tongue. Normally I will, but when it's massively inaccurate and borderline on idiotic, I cannot bite my tongue and I'm going to say something. But he said that was cooked 2 days ago, yeah, Ma?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, she said it was a 2-day-old chicken.
And you
warm
can...
up.
Yeah,
2-day-old chicken, and you warm it out and serve it to me. I said, oh, hang on a minute. Well, what do you mean? And he said, your chicken is all. I said, no, our chicken is fresh cut every day.
Literally every day.
Yes.
And then he, you can see in the video, he shakes his head and he kind of mouths, says, no, it's not. That was old chicken.
Our young chicken topping of all our food, we fry it as we want it. And I even show him.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, I was saying, and then you said that, then he went, no, I know my chicken, or something like that. That was old. And then Mum went to, carry on.
I went to the fridge and pulled out that tray of chicken that we had that they're serving and show it to him. It's fresh, it's uncooked. And then we said, when an order come in, then we cook the chicken for that order. And he still couldn't believe it. Then he blamed it on the deep fat fryer.
Yeah, so he looked over, yeah. So you can see him look over and go,
yeah, that's the culprit.
That's the culprit.
Yeah.
What? Still? Or do you mean, he goes, no, the deep fat fryer. And then, right, okay, so there's one thing we don't ever get blamed for, is because we velvet our meat. We do bicarb our meat, obviously, because we are deep frying a lot of it. And it's next to impossible to overcook it because...
Well, we've literally tested it. We've just put chicken in for ourselves and literally left it until it goes like...
solid cold, and it's not chewy.
No, not at all.
And I think the problem he had is he was doing that thing that I was talking about gatekeeping earlier, because he said, no, I've got Chinese friends who have taught me how to cook, and I think eventually turns out that they're a Chinese couple, and this is back in the States where he's from, and they taught him how to cook and how to do this and how to do that, which then backs up. So just because someone's Chinese doesn't mean they're doing it right. Sometimes, like, they could be good cooks and you're just a poor student, which is possible. Like, you just haven't listened at all to what they've said. But he was adamant, and every sort of step of the way, right? I wasn't there, but every step of the way he had an answer. And then when it was, every time he came up with something new and it was shut down, he then eventually just said, well, I think it's better if I never come back and eat here. And I think you said, yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, don't come back.
Yeah.
Like, you could tell he was thinking about this as, like, throughout the whole meal, because it's just the way he, like, the words were just, like, falling out. Like, it was fast.
Yeah. It was.
Like, he was nervous and he was trying to think of things to say because he doesn't really know what he's talking about. And, well, he obviously didn't know what he was talking about because he was adamant it was 2-day-old chicken, and then once proven wrong, it was something else, and then something else. And
Dunning-Kruger, which is where people with little knowledge think they know a lot, and then people with a lot of knowledge say they don't know much because they know how much there is to learn.
well, yeah, because you're literally everyone's constantly learning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
Well, like, I mean,
constantly.
we cook differently. Genuinely, we cook differently. Not massive, not drastically differently, but there's little things we do differently than we would have done last year, and then the year before, and then the year before that, because there's always something that we're picking up on just through cooking ourselves. And we've got not like most people. Most people don't have the time, and they don't have the facilities, and they don't have the need to cook thousands of dishes over and over again and trial different things, whereas we do, and we're lucky like that. So, and the thing is, we're not arrogant enough to say 1 week, we found the perfect way of doing it, we're never going to change it. We change all the time,
Yeah.
which is why we change the menu constantly,
Yes.
because we, like, one time we'll do it, and we'll do like something, get massive remarks on how amazing it is, and then me and Mum will sit there and we'll try the food, and then we'll go, I think it needs this and that. We'll try it. Hasn't worked. We'll go, okay, we won't put that back on the menu like that, because in this guise it's not quite right. And then we'll try 5 or 6 different variations of things until we both sit there, taste it, and the entire kitchen has to agree that it's good.
Yeah.
If the entire kitchen turns around, and if someone goes, it's okay, we're not going to put it on the fucking menu because it's okay,
It's not good.
it's not good enough. The entire kitchen has to go, yeah,
That's the one.
that's it. And that's how we roll. And I think that's why we've got such a good reputation. We've got,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? It's regardless of YouTube fame or whatever, we just give a shit about what we're doing.
Yeah. You do
Too
actually
right.
know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also, Chicken Man, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you. Like, I really don't care if you never come back in.
No.
But, yeah.
Right, I
Yeah.
think,
Well,
is that it for today?
I think
Or-
one more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one more QA.
Okay.
I'm just really tired. I don't know why you have churros written on there.
Churro, you mean the
And you wrote that down because it's spelt wrong.
Yeah, fully.
churro? Is it the breakfast?
No, it's the things that I got the other day when it was the food festival. What we were eating in the morning.
Oh,
fried-
it's called churro, is it?
Yeah.
Churro.
Oh,
I think it was Mum's opinion on churros. Mum, can you give your opinion on churros?
It's too dry
There we go.
Yeah.
and too skinny. No, too thin, not skinny. Too thin. It has. I think it should be served a slightly thicker, and because when you deep fry it, if you fry it and the dough is quite hard as well.
I think the dough's hard is because the people frying it aren't chefs, so they're not regulating the temperature of the oil, so they're not watching.
Just
Well, I think so the oil goes in, okay? The oil goes
You
in.
need to be hot when it go in.
Yeah, the churro goes in, right?
Then it boom like that. Then you turn it down.
Yeah, but what they're doing is they're giving the same time for everything.
Yes.
So the first churro that went in, has had more time than the last churro. So like that churro that we had is going to be rock solid. Bear in mind there was a massive queue, so they were all pretty much fresh. They just weren't brilliant.
Oh yeah.
I like them.
No, I
the
didn't
sauce.
like it too much. No, and that's also because there were other about charges.
Oh God, here we go. Yeah. Oh no, that was it. That was it. Well remembered, Mum. Well remembered. Right. So the churros that we had were 3 of them, and you can see. I think you can see them on one of our podcasts. Not podcasts. On Chin Vlog YouTube channel. Just type in Chin Vlog and go and subscribe there. Don't subscribe there if you don't like swearing, by the way, because I swear a fucking lot. Like, you think I swear here a lot. In real life, I swear way more than I swear on this, and especially on YouTube, the main channel. I don't swear very much there. Anyway, so you can see them there. There was 3 churros, with a tiny pot of chocolate sauce. The chocolate sauce was actually quite nice. It was a little bit malty, which I quite enjoyed. Pardon me, but they were charging £4.50 for
£5.
Was it £5?
£5.
£5 for that, right? We hand make our rolls from scratch, and they take a long time to make. And in fact, if we made jujagwe, which is like a Chinese donut, which would be just one stick would be the equivalent of like 6 or 7 of those, and we sold it for more than £1.50, we'd get fucking wouldn't we?
Abuse.
Yeah. What do you mean? It was one.
Why you greedy? Why are you charging so much?
Don't worry, it's just a giant churro. Oh right, yeah, £6.
Yeah. It's stupid, isn't it?
That's the point. It's like the second you're perceived or Asian or Chinese, I should say Chinese, because Thai food you can charge a lot for, or like Southeast Asian food, like Malaysian food, you can charge the correct amount for, I should say. But like Chinese food, people expect it to be cheap.
Yeah.
Whereas like that churro would have cost them quite literally less than £1 to make. I reckon, including the wrapping and stuff, you're looking at 70-80p. Whereas if we made 70 or 80p or something, people would expect us to charge £1, £1.20, £1.50 for. But they don't mind when it's that kind of food and the person serving. I know it's not. By the way, before anyone goes, I don't think that they're deliberate. No, it's not deliberate. I don't think it's deliberate. I just think it's in like that subconscious thing of, because you've grown up with having cheap Chinese food. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's we've put ourselves in that situation to try and compete, and now that we can't compete, people are wondering why the takeaways are suffering in terms of quality and values, because people aren't willing to pay for it. And the kind of people who go to Chinese takeaways, on average, normally can't really afford a price hike. So it's a vicious cycle. But what happens is that the takeaway gets lambasted for it, whereas another kind of business never does. And I'm not saying it's always the case, and I'm not saying that's everyone. I'm just saying it's prevalent, because, especially for me, because I see it a lot, and I see it a lot in these groups where people just drag down local businesses because they've raised the price of something by 30p. And I'm just like, well...
Like, people don't understand as well, getting takeaways is a luxury. It's not a necessity. You can cook at home. Like...
And if you want to know how, just buy Chin and Chew's cookbook, available at chinandchew.com. It's only sold there.
Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead.
It's like, I don't know. People just get really, really weird about having to pay more than £5 for a chow mein.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things, and we're guilty of setting that up in the first place for it to be cheap food, but then we only did it because people wouldn't buy off us unless it was cheap. So it's like...
Whatever you do, you can't do it right.
Yeah.
Put it that way. It seemed like that.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, isn't it, really?
I think, yeah.
What? Go on. Go ahead.
I think it's because the Chinese takeaway food has been in UK the longest. I think one of the longest one then compared to the other ethnic cuisine coming up now, like the Thai food, the Vietnamese food, whatever. They were later on come in. They are able to charge a bit more than the Chinese food. You know, understand what I mean?
Yeah, fully.
Yeah. Can you explain it, please?
You did it well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Yeah, so yeah.
Can speak English now.
Yeah, so you did very well there. So, yeah, churros.
Yeah, churros.
Yeah.
If we charged, in fact, even if we made churros and we in our shop and we charged £5 for them,
no one would want to buy it.
it's too expensive.
Too expensive. I'm not buying that one.
Yeah.
That's what some customer would say that. But we could give it a go though.
On another note, do you know what
Yeah.
I did think would be amazing with churros? Is if you make...
You mean that one that we buy on that day or ours one that Lillian made? That was really good.
Oh, the
I
Chinese
like
donuts.
that one then.
The rice, the mochi donuts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They are.
Yes.
Yeah, Lydia's
they are
gonna
really good.
Start making
I like that
pastries
one.
in our restaurant. So what I was going to say is I reckon we can make churros, right? But make them savoury. So you make
Oh, you know what?
So wait,
I used-
wait.
Okay.
Wait, just listen to me,
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, savoury one. Yeah, we used to have it, but it was crispier.
Wait,
Yeah,
Yeah,
savoury.
I said
We have
Look,
it.
she actually wants to speak, so let her talk.
okay. Okay, sorry.
All right, I'm not giving out all what's in the savoury then.
No, go on. Come on. You just got told off for interrupting. You just keep talking
No,
about.
I'm not. I'm not going to say that then.
No, go on. Say. It's fine.
What were you going to say?
Go on.
It's like the whatever you had the other day, but it was thinner, but it was crispier, and it's really amazing. It was just a few ingredients in it. Oh,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Churros aren't. They're not that difficult to make.
No.
But what I was thinking is that you make churros, but don't make them in that loop thing. You make them straight,
Yeah,
so they're long.
yeah.
Put them on a base. Throw curry on top of it.
Oh yeah, that's right. We have the one that with the curry leaves.
Curry leaves.
Yeah, curry.
Oh, actually, in the
Curry
batter.
leaves.
Yeah, actually in the it's savoury.
Oh,
that's
in the
like
batter.
stick, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, with crispy,
Imagine that.
crispy bits of spam on top.
Imagine
Yeah.
that with a curry dagging on top or something
Yes,
like that.
that's right. We used to. I used to make them. Probably forgot all the measurement.
For what? Gung gung and papa.
Yeah.
Sorry, gung gung means granddad and papa means
grandmother.
grandmother.
Yeah. And someone could tell us that we're using it wrong
Yeah, because technically it should be,
from the father side.
yeah.
Yes. You are the grandson from the mother side, so you wouldn't call my parents Gung Gung and Popo.
No, it'd be yi gung and yi po.
No. You call it Wai Gung and
Wai
Wai
gung, wai po, yeah. Yeah.
Why mean the outsider?
Oh.
Yeah. So I don't, so they would, so yeah.
Classify it.
But because there is no Chinese grandparents on my dad's side, obviously,
No.
there is no Gung Gung and Popo. And I was the firstborn, so I think they wanted me to call them Gung Gung and Popo.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. And also, there's a photo in the back of the book, which I've decided is me and my cousin Andrew. And we don't talk to each other very often. But when we do, it's just like talking to a brother. It's I literally see him probably once every 6-7 years. But we've grown up together, kind of. Every time I go back to Brunei, because we're literally the same age.
Yeah.
I think I'm older.
5 months between.
5 months older, yeah. Well, I'm definitely older because I'm the oldest of our generation, aren't I?
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, and there's a picture of me and him and my gran on my Gung Gung and Popo in the back of the first book, but I've put the same image in the back of my second book because I decided that image is going to go in every single book I ever published. So the more that people can see my gran and granddad and my cousin as well, which is a nice happy side effect. I think it's a nice thing to have.
Yes, it is. It's
Very nice.
marvelous.
Marvelous. So I just think, yeah. So no matter what, even if someday by a miraculous twist of fate, a company decides they want to buy my book, so we don't have to self-publish anymore, I'm going to be like, one stipulation is this picture has to be in the last page of the every single book. Fine. Also, nice little bit of trivia about that.
Yeah.
That page there's, if you look really closely, I think just above my head, you can see like there's this odd.
Oh, the orb.
Oh no, it's not an orb. What orb? I didn't even notice that. Well, that's not me sleeping tonight, but you can see like this square that doesn't look like it belongs yet is there. Well, that's because I crudely photoshopped a square over the top of a Lucky Strike advertisement. It looked like they had, I don't know why they had.
It was a cigarette, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So I literally had to. Well, it's only. Well, I don't agree with smoking, even though I was a massive smoker for a long time. But I just didn't agree with advertising it. I don't even think Lucky Strikes exist anymore. So I photoshopped it, and if you look really closely, and only people gonna. I've never said this out loud to anyone. I don't even think you know. I don't think Mum knows.
No.
So only people listening to this podcast are gonna know.
Oh yeah, the door behind.
Yeah, on the door.
QQ
There was a tiny
room. There was a sticker in the door there.
Yeah, that's it.
Probably it was knowing him, probably was a cigarette or something like that.
Yeah, it was.
Was it a Camel cigarette or
Lucky Strike?
Yeah.
Yeah. But Lucky Strike was my favourite branding on like sports cars and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, it was like when I was growing up, it was massive. Marlboro was my second. I really want a Marlboro R1, which is a motorbike with Marlboro like sponsorship all over the side because it's just iconic for me. But anyway, so on that bombshell, I will leave you with another cliffhanger.
Oh God.
Next week, we will be talking about John.
Oh.
Yeah. You know.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you think... Yeah, it'll be fine, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Well, we'll soon find out.
What about you? It'll be fine, won't it?
Who's John?
And on that bombshell, we leave you from me, Chin, Mum Choo, and my wife Lydia. Until next week, remember, we're trying to do every Friday at the moment. So if you can keep listening for every Friday, in fact, if you can listen on the Fridays or watch on the Fridays, it really helps loads because that will boost our algorithm and help get this up and running. Because if we can get to a certain point, we can start getting some real famous chefs on here. I do have cooking with Chow with Lau, sorry, not cooking with Lau. Chow with Lau, he wants to come on. I want to do this in person, which I think if we had got our own unit would be fantastic. Just more space. I mean, people are welcome to come around. I'm pretty sure because of the other platforms I've got quite a lot of famous people I can ask in terms of social media famous.
Yes.
But let's see if they agree to it. If even if it means we have to put them up in a hotel or whatever and maybe have some monetary value involved. But I think that this podcast could be really cool.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. You guys, make it happen.
Yeah.
Thank you in advance.
You guys make it happen.
You guys.
So yeah, so if we can get more views, we can get this thing really started.
Yes.
Yeah?
That would be good. That would be brilliant.
And next time we'll be talking about John.
And not John Bon Jovi.
No.
Shot to the heart. You're to blame. Darling, you give love. No, that's terrible.
Bad name.
It wasn't that bad. you sounded like that. Have you ever seen The Matrix?
I can't remember.
There's a bit in The Matrix where he goes, do you want the red or blue pill? And he takes the red pill, I think. He swallows it. And then all of a sudden he goes, ah. Anyway, that's it for today. See you next time. Mum?
Cheerio, bye.
No, you're
Cheerio, bye.
No, you
That's it. Happy cooking, happy eating.
There we go. Take care, guys.
Bye.